I want to speak today about gratitude. And gratitude is something that I have found to be the quickest way to open my heart and to raise my vibration. So, let me just explain to you a little bit more about what your vibration is. So, the best way that I could probably explain this to you that I have found is that your vibration is an accumulation of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. So when my thoughts and my feelings and my actions are in a high state, it means I'm just naturally quite joyful, I'm energetic, I am positive. Whereas when my thoughts and my feelings and my actions are in a low state, it means I'm low on energy, I'm predominantly negative, I have a negative view on life. And this really affects your outer reality. So it's like what you feel inside is often mirrored outside. So if I'm predominantly negative, if I'm feeling like a victim, then I'm going to see more and more things in my life that are going to make me feel like more of a victim, or make me feel like take me lower in my vibration. Whereas if I have a positive outlook on life and I believe that life is working with me and working for me, then life presents you with evidence to back that up, and that feeling just gets stronger and stronger. And so when we want to raise our vibration, for me the fastest way to do that is first to look at my thoughts and to understand and to listen to my thoughts and see what's going on in my thoughts. So if I'm negative, then that's where I have to make my first shifts and changes in my thought field. So I have to look at the thoughts that I'm thinking, and I have to almost take control over them. And as I mentioned in previous videos, we have the power to control our thoughts or to decide what to do with them. Because if you have a strong mind, sometimes it feels like it's out of your control and there's not much that you can do about it. But if your mind is the battlefield, you are fighting just as much as those thoughts are fighting against you. So that's where I like to start. My thoughts, when I can get my thoughts right, then my thoughts naturally affect my feelings, and my feelings then naturally affect my actions. So it's like a ripple effect. And today's video is really just about gratitude as a way to raise your vibration. And I don't know if you've ever found that, you could just, this happens to me often. I'm just driving around or just doing something mindless, or when I'm out in nature, there will just be an aspect of gratitude that comes into my awareness, and I'll just look around and I'll just feel so simply grateful for just what I see around me, so for the beautiful green leaves on the tree, or the way the sun is shining, or how the sky is so blue. And it's like the more you focus on those things to be grateful for, they multiply. So I really love Abraham Hicks, because Abraham Hicks often does these like rampages. And to me, that's what it's like when I get into a moment of gratitude. It becomes a rampage. So I start off just thanking God, thanking the universe for something as simple as just waking up in the mornings. Thank you for my life. And before I know it, I'm thanking God for my family. I'm thanking God for the beautiful food and nourishment that I have available to me for that day. I'm thanking God for the wonderful weather, and it just snowballs and snowballs. And before I know it, I've gone for even up to an hour sometimes, just thinking about all the things that I'm grateful for, whether they are the smallest, most minute things, or something so huge and significant, like reflecting on my growth and reflecting and being grateful for the people in my life and the way I'm supported. And what this does is it helps us to see how life really is working with us. and life isn't working against us. And when we have that understanding, then we also face challenges a lot better and a lot easier, because we know that even in the midst of chaos, it's like we have this deep sense of peace, because we know that whatever is happening is actually happening for the greater good. And that gives us the sense of peace and helps us to remain grateful and to go back to gratitude even when we are in very low vibrations, low states of being. So yeah, I think, everybody who has done this before, and it's something that most people generally do, is practice gratitude. But if you sit down today and you just start with one little thing, one tiny little thing to be grateful for, and you allow that to snowball, and you allow the gratitude to just flood in and move through your body, you will see exactly how that opens your heart. You will see how that changes your thoughts, and how when your thoughts have changed, your actions change, your feelings change, and your actions change. And how that then supports you to live more openly, live in a greater states of peace, and just most of all, just living with that open heart, living with that deep knowing that just there's just so much to be grateful for. And I find that this is also how I call in more abundance into my life, because when I focus on the things that I'm grateful for, then I see just how abundant I am already. I see just how blessed I am. And so when I'm seeing just how blessed and abundant I am already, that puts me into a vibration, a state of being that is in alignment with more abundance. So gratitude is definitely a practice, a beautiful practice when you want to feel more abundance or call in more abundance. And another thing that really supports this is mantras. And you see, there's, it can be so challenging with mantras, because a lot of people say, you can't just say things and then think it's gonna change your whole life. Well, no, you can't, but it is an additional tool to add to your life. So mantras, the thing about mantras, when you're saying mantras every day, it's got to come from a place of knowing. So whatever it is that you're saying has to change the way you're thinking, which will then change the way you're feeling, which will then change the actions that you take. And that is the recipe for change. That is the recipe for raising your vibration. That is the recipe for attracting higher things into your life. And it's really as simple as that, but it comes down to that open heart and that belief in whatever it is that you're saying. So when it comes to low self-worth, if I feel a lot of shame around my body, I can't just look in the mirror and say, I love my body, I love my body, I love my body. But deep inside, I actually have so much shame around it, and so much, shame around my body. It comes down to looking in the mirror and saying I love my body, but saying it from a place of belief. And that's where we need to learn how to create mantras for our own life and for wherever we are at life. So I might not be ready to say, I love my body, because that's a huge thing for me to say, and I know that inside I don't believe it. So I might rather want to start with, I'm so grateful that my body has sustained me thus far in life. I'm so grateful for the strength that I feel every day to get going in my life and get things done. I'm so grateful that my body is working with me instead of against me. And that's then where we start to cultivate that belief. So our thoughts then are our thoughts are affecting our actions, are affecting our feelings, and our feelings are really that deep belief that we have in whatever we're cultivating in our mind and what we're thinking. And when we have that belief, that's when we start to make different choices which support that belief. So if I'm feeling a lot more positive and believing a lot, like a much better story about my body and what my body is doing for me, then that motivates me in my actions to eat healthier, to exercise more, to look after myself. And it comes from a place of willingness and groundedness, instead of a sense of, oh, now I have to punish myself because I hate my body, because I don't like what I look like. And you see how that's a very different way to approach this. So yeah, I think that's it for today, and I am just wishing you all a beautiful day. And just a reminder to practice some gratitude today, and see, just be aware of how that affects your heart and how that opens your heart. And take yourself on a rampage, enjoy it. Feel the ecstasy that can really come from truly just being grateful for what we have. So beautiful. See you tomorrow.